everyone, and welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. I am your host, Kamisha Whitaker-Moore, and tonight I have another special guest. We've been having special guests all week. We have another special guest on today. She is definitely near and dear to my heart because she's a different type of special guest. She is my niece, Taylor. Taylor, tell everybody about you and who you are.
I'm Taylor. I'm 20 years old and I go to school for phlebotomy technician right now. And yeah.
Well, good. So, everyone, we're going to meet Taylor. We're going to talk to her a little bit about some life events. And from that, we'll move on. We'll dive as deep as Taylor wants to go. But if not, then she's going to give us what she wants to give us. Okay. All right. So, everybody just grab some tea, whatever you need. Just open your hearts and minds, and we're going to listen to what Taylor has for us. So, Tay Tay, as I call you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Welcome.
I know it was a little bit of a struggle to get you here. Actually, when I asked you, you were like, "Yeah, I'll come." And then we got a little nervous, and that's okay because every time I start this, I get a little nervous, like I tripped over some words, and that's okay. We're human and we're going to do that anyway. But tonight I want to talk about some traumatic events that happened with you and how you've kind of grown from it, how you've learned from it, and honestly, some of the struggles and different things that you went through with it. Some of it we can definitely relate on because there's been situations on the both sides of that that we can definitely talk about. Okay. All right. I see your eyes already getting watery.
Cause
That's okay. We're good. We're good. So you want to start us out, or you want me to start out, or how do you want to do it?
you can.
Okay. So what year was this, that we're gonna talk about? What year was this?
This was 2022.
Okay. So back in 2022, you were a student at one of the local colleges, not really local, but one of the colleges there, and you had an event. And the event that I'm talking about is that you became pregnant, correct? Okay. And so then at that point, we had a couple little decisions to make. We were playing basketball at the time. We had our mindset on that. We had our mindset on a couple different things and kind of tell us where we are now.
Okay, where we are now, we are at the stage of where I'm just, upgrading my life,
Mm-hmm.
getting myself together, and forgiving myself,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Even though I already have, I'm just forgiving myself more so that I feel it more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we are right now.
Okay. So we're gonna back up just a little bit. So you became pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then with that entail, because you were basically going to school, you're on the basketball team, you made a decision to like when you and I talked, we were kind of between I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to have
Mm-hmm.
an abortion, but I'm really not sure if I want to. And then we were kind of back and forth with that. And then my thing was, Taylor, I don't believe in that, but whatever you decide, I got your back 110%. And we even talked about future scenarios about if you decided to keep the baby, then I would keep her for you. We would go to school, we would have a whole tribe, and we would do what we needed to do.
Right.
But tell everyone what you decided to do.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to, after so long for just thinking, I don't know if it was just, out praying about it and stuff like that, but I don't know if it was, the right decision,
Mm-hmm.
because it was last minute too. But what I decided to do was go ahead and do the abortion because it's like, I'm young, I still want to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready for that, financially stable. I'm not that. And how can I focus on the kid and
Right.
myself?
Yeah.
But I was 18 and, God doesn't make decisions without, knowing what's gonna happen. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know I could have went through
Right.
and been successful still because I had my whole family, but it's like so many mixed emotions from everybody. I feel like that's what took a toll. I had got depressed from it. I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. I told my mom, "Bye." Like, it really took a toll on me. Like,
Yeah. It definitely did. And I know that watching you making that decision, I know at one point, like you had decided at one point that you were going to keep her. It was a girl, right?
Mhm.
Okay. At one point, you decided that you were gonna keep her, and then the next thing I know, you're in Kansas. And I'm like, "Okay," 'cause I know we had all talked about it, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm proud of you." You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I remember having that conversation. "I'm proud of you because we can definitely do it together," because you know our family, our mom, my dad, us, me, Kaylin, your mother, they, all of us. We're like a whole tribe out here. You know, we kinda help each other. We take care of one another. You have a kid, we babysitting. We're doing whatever we can to help people. And that's exactly where I thought we left it. But then I'm like, Taylor's in Kansas. Okay. What was going through your mind in Kansas?
When I was in Kansas, it was like I was okay, you know?
Hmm.
I was very okay with it. It was like just normal. And then after it happened, still okay. But then, I started thinking about it, like what it could have been, like how life could have been after the fact. So it's just like every time I think about it, it started getting consistent, it started getting every day, started getting depressing again, and it started getting so much anxiety to where I just started losing all that weight.
Gotcha.
And it's like it really hurt because that was back in 2022. It's
Hmm.
2024 and I'm just now gaining some weight back, just now being happy and just like, being free,
Hmm.
cause like it be in my head every day.
Yeah.
Every day. It's like hard because people actually comes to me and asks me for advice on what they should do. I'll just be like, God doesn't, put you in a position for you to like, lose something. Cause like
Hmm.
a baby does not ask to be born.
Right.
So it's like it's either you put your big girl pants on or just I don't even know because I wouldn't even if I can go back in time I wouldn't even make that decision I made.
Gotcha.
I would not have. So it's just like it's hard
Yeah, I
to
understand. So let's talk a little bit about like the dad. How was he? Was he for or against? Was he like, I'm gonna be there or no?
he just was like I'm lying.
Yeah.
It's not his kid. You can go ahead and do the abortion like I don't care. So that's another reason why I'll have also went and got it because it's like we lay down in the bed together,
Right.
How you gonna say that it's not yours when I don't even,
You're right.
So it's like I'm telling you this, I'm just confronting you about it because it's my first day, and I'm like, I'm playing basketball, So it's
Yeah.
like I'm in college, so it's like, w- what do you mean,
Yeah. And what are we gonna do?
right?
Right.
And then so it's like I'm just gonna get an abortion, and then I was just been thinking about it, and thinking about it. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, and I was iffy about it,
Yeah.
but it's like he just took the initiative and just said, "Go and get it," basically.
Right. No thought about it, no
Right.
nothing.
Just that if that baby mine, I don't know, because if you woulda had the baby, I woulda seen the genes on me, you know?
Yeah, just some
So
silly
it's like
stuff.
right, so
Right.
it's like, that took a toll on it,
Yeah.
and then I had feelings about whether people would judge me or not about it and stuff like that, so it also took another toll on it, and it's just like, I know how our family is,
Yeah.
Some people gonna say that they're gonna watch your kid, and when they watch them, it's if you do them wrong or something like that, what if they end up saying something about you too about
Right.
that? Like, that's another thing that I took initiative and thought about because, like, I was just thinking about it for the moment. I was thinking about the future,
Right.
But at the same time, the things in the future that I was thinking about, I didn't have to worry about that because it's like that's not present time right now.
Right.
And I know my family gonna stick together whether or not we talk bad about each other,
Yeah, girlfriend, you know family. You
because
know how we
we
do
stay
it. Stay talking about somebody, but then we like cool friends the next day, but
right,
bet nobody else better talk about you.
and better not nobody else play with you
Right.
because like it's just it's just a lot of process.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
So
stuff to process and just take in,
I get it.
basically.
How was your mental on the basketball team?
I don't think it was really there.
Yeah.
It's just like kept losing friends and then and
Were
then
you losing friends because you were losing friends because you were going through a situation, or were you losing friends because someone that you trusted, someone that was the adult in the group, you thought that had your back really didn't have your back? So how did that come about?
that was one of the reasons as well because when I found out before mama found out.
Right.
I'm not even gonna tell the story. I was just acting,
Yeah.
like, I didn't know because it's like, how do I tell mama, this is
Yeah.
something serious, like so I took a test at college or whatever, and they was there with me
Mm.
because, emotions and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so it's like, as that went on about, people started telling me that I'm pregnant and stuff, and then it got back to the coach, and it's like, if my best friend wasn't doing it, then who did it for real?
Right.
And I already knew who did it because, like, you're the only person that's really just around me 24/7 unless it wasn't the other person.
Right.
I'm just gonna say person A and person B because you know
Gotcha.
who person A is. We
Yeah.
came in there
But
together
you
and
just
we're like,
never know.
right.
Right.
And I just started seeing their true colors for what it is because after I did it, that's when everybody just started. Because at first, they was praising you and they was being nice to you and agreeing with you and being there for support with you and agreeing with the decision that you made
Mhm.
because of basketball as well, and it's because of my age. And you had that one person that said you're selfish, and it was like, how am I selfish for putting myself first? But at the same time, that was my, consequence for laying down in that bed. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's not I can't really put that past or what she said because, like, you're right.
So the person that said you were selfish, was that the adult in the
No,
situation?
this is somebody that was not necessarily staying where we were staying,
Okay,
because
okay.
we had whatever that place is called, the
Yeah.
little place
Okay.
or whatever. She was staying at the other what person D.
Okay. We ain't gonna worry about it. Totally understand that. I get it.
But I want to say names, but But yeah, the person that's supposed to be the adult about it, she took the initiative, started creating lies, and just going around telling people. And then that's when the coach's wife, well, coach's girlfriend, came to me and was like, "Are you da 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 da?" I was like, "No." And she was like, "Don't lie to me." I was like, "No." She was like, "I could tell them because where you were at the game, and then when you was over here, you ate that grilled chicken." I was like, "If anybody gonna eat grilled chicken, they gonna eat the whole thing because it's just chicken, right?"
Right.
So it's like that's how I knew
Okay.
because if I was keeping it a secret, what would they know?
I totally understand that. So tell me the dynamic of the team. So do you feel like at a time of need and at a time that you were going through, and when you sweat, you bleed, and you do all these things for your basketball team and all the people that are on your team that were supposed to be family, did family come through for you?
No.
I gotcha. Okay. So now we're past that and we're at a situation to where um we're in Kansas, we're done in
Mhm.
Kansas and we're on our way home, right? Or we're
Mhm.
back home. Tell me your mental status at that moment and what happened.
I was fine. Like I was very fine. Like I got back home. I was normal. I was playful self.
Yeah.
Doing everything, still running and stuff like when I tore my ACL. So it's like nothing was wrong with me, but it's like as months go by, weeks go by, that's when the pain started like really just hurting and hit because it's like I don't feel nothing anymore.
Yeah. Is
But
this when you were thinking about your baby?
mhm,
Thinking about the decision that you made,
mhm.
regretting the things that you had done, kind of going through depression or whatever? Okay. So now we're there. And so, with that being said, so you're going through all of these emotions. How old are you
I was
at that time?
18.
So, you're 18 years old, made a big girl decision. You're still between a child and an adult because you graduated from high school. You're playing
Yes,
ball in college.
I don't like being an adult.
I totally get it. And so, at this point, your emotions are running rampant, your anxiety, your depression, all these things start hitting, right? And so you don't know what to do with all of those emotions.
I felt like I was lost.
Gotcha.
That's why I got that tattoo. Don't lose yourself because I know for a fact I lost myself.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to see myself like that again because you don't know how bad it is.
Yeah. I totally understand that. I
Like
do.
it's so bad.
So you lost yourself at that moment. Okay. So now, where are you?
I'm good.
You good today? Because I remember, honestly, Taylor, I remember watching you. I remember watching the Tay Tay that we knew and then the Tay Tay that nobody knew. You know, there were so many emotions and so many um things going on that honestly we didn't even know what to do. Everybody was kind of walking on eggshells just to make sure because at this moment we're like, we love you and we hate to see you this way, but then we don't even know how to come at you. It's like, do we hug you? Do we kiss you? Do we what? And then it's just like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's like anger. You know what I mean? And so at this moment, we're just like, what do we do? Because you're unpredictable at this moment. And all I know is that we were like praying and we were like, we love her. And I know that she's going through some emotional situations. So how do we help? You know what I'm saying? How do we help you? Because honestly, you know us, you know church, and we pray about things and all that good stuff. And sometimes, honestly, prayer is good. I'm not going to say prayer isn't. Sometimes we need to talk about things, and sometimes we need to say things out loud. So with you, and then I see your mom. She's going through things. Your granny, she's going through things. You're
Mhm.
going through things. And where are you
Right
mentally?
right now?
Mm-mm.
Or then okay.
Yeah, when everybody was trying to approach Taylor, and it's just like, we know she's feeling lost, but at this moment, what do we do? Because you're not letting us in.
I think it was hard. I feel like I was gonna get judged, you know?
Yeah,
But I just started I feel like I was gonna get judged at first, but I just started opening up more,
yeah,
letting my guard down, explaining and stuff like that. Cause I know mama was sad. Like,
yeah.
it was like I broke so many people's hearts at the same time. But I was just trying to do something beneficial to
I
me at the
understand.
time. But it wasn't necessarily beneficial. It just hurt me even more.
Yeah, and then at that moment, you had to kinda grow up real fast. You were
Yes.
18, and you're 18 dealing with all these emotions that you never dealt with before. And then here we are. And then you're just a ball of emotions. I know Bo would tell me I'm emotionally constipated. Or
Yeah.
sometimes people have emotional diarrhea. It's just like they're all over the place. Or you just stopped up and you can't feel, you can't describe, you can't do anything because you're holding so much down. And I know that pressure busts pipes, right? So I totally get that part. I do. I understand that. So travel along. That was 20 what?
22.
2022.
Mhm.
Okay, 2022. And 2023, we're doing better emotionally,
I think
or
that's
we're
when
in
it
the
crashed for real.
gotcha.
I
So
think
what does
that's
crash look like for
well,
you?
that's when it hurt. And that's when I was going through everything for real because I was still at school
Yeah,
at the end of that year. And then I came back home in December. I feel like that's when everything just started, happening. But I feel like what made me come around is how we all went to Apache Trail
yeah,
and we would chill and hang out together and stuff. I think that's what really motivated me
mhm,
to be happy again and stuff. Even though it took a little minute, but it's always a process into something. You're not just gonna ever just snap back to.
right,
But it was always in the end. Praying and stuff, it does help because every time I would pray or something or get lost, and I tell myself I'm forgiven, even though I didn't really believe that I was forgiven. But
yeah,
I'll go in church when I get in a prayer line, all the missionaries be like, with Missionary Canada, she'll be like, "You've been forgiven. Like, stop dwelling on the things that's hurting you the most. When God's already forgave you, all you gotta do is forgive yourself."
yeah,
And that's what really just kept hitting me because, like, she'll say that every blue moon, every time I'm feeling down, I come to church, she'll tell me that. So it's like, I know I know he real, and I know he there for me, and I know that I need to just continue praying and continue just to believe and speaking into existence that I will be good and I'll be better than what I'm feeling
yeah,
as long as I just believe and
right,
keep that faith.
yeah, for
And
sure.
that's what really just helped me because like I'm just been happy lately. Like
Good.
I have not just been. I think about it, but I think about back with God.
Yeah,
It's just something I'll just tell my future kids if I ever have kids. Because like I don't know, I wouldn't wish this on nobody. I don't want to do it again,
yeah,
and it's just I be trying to be there for people, after they have their little miscarriages and after they do abortions because like stuff do be happening to you, but
yeah,
some things do happen for a reason, you
yeah,
know? So it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm that person to talk to somebody else when they going through something.
right. And sometimes we are. Sometimes we can go through situations and sometimes because we can relate, we know how that person is feeling. Now, I've not had an abortion, but I have had a miscarriage between Chris and Cameron. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, here I am, I'm pregnant again. You know what I mean? I'm young, I'm pregnant, and this was like a 3rd kid or my 3rd child. And so I remember going to the hospital, for a regular OB appointment, and then I was at St. Michael's actually, and the lady that was doing my, ultrasound, routine ultrasound, she was like, I don't see the baby heartbeat. I can't hear it. I can't pick it up." And so then at that point, I'm like, "Okay, girl, don't, there's nothing going on. We're gonna, she's gonna keep trying." And so then at that moment, she sent me somewhere else to get some further testing, whatever the case may be. And so then they brought me back to this room and they told me, they said, "You've had a miscarriage." And they told me that they could see that the baby had like a tumor growth in his neck. And so at that moment, I'm thinking I'm being punished. That was my thought. My thought process was that I'm being punished. And the reason why I said that is because I was not married. This is my 3rd child, and I'm like, I'm being punished because, I'm pregnant and I've accepted the fact that I'm pregnant, and then when I'm pregnant, I'm like, "Oh, this is my child," "You carrying this baby inside of you, it's growing, you're a part of this whole world of, you're gonna be a mom." And I knew that I was way too young to have 3 kids, but still, I'm like, "Okay," you know? And so I was just like I just started crying because I'm like, God is punishing me for doing things that I know that I shouldn't be doing. And honestly, at that moment, I felt like nothing, and I cried and I mean cried a lot. And so then they went ahead and tried to do like a DNC, whatever the case may be. And I remember in nursing school, it was like years later. I remember in nursing school, I remember a mom had just delivered a stillborn, which is a baby that was
Mhm.
born dead. And I remember we were going to the morgue to see this baby, and I froze. I couldn't move. And I don't even know what was going on in my body at that moment because I wasn't really, like, thinking about it. I'm just, like, going down, and we were going down there, and so I stopped. I couldn't move anymore. And so everybody was moving, and I couldn't move, and I'm like, "I don't know what's going on with me." My mind just shut down, and I remember all of those emotions that I felt at that moment, when I had my miscarriage, and all those memories came rushing back to my mind. And I just started to cry because I'm what am I doing? You know? And then I realized that I was not over that situation. And I'm thinking that it was done and it was gone and it was over with. So I'm like, I can relate to you on some of this because I lost a child, but yet and still it's emotionally taxing on you because you go through so many emotions about me personally, like I'm being punished or I'm out here doing the wrong thing or I'm not doing the right thing and this is the repercussions of things and sometimes things happen for a reason and we have to accept that. And so sometimes, we know that God is a good God and we know that God does all things, but yet and still sometimes things are just not what it's supposed to be or how we think. And I always say that our thoughts are not God's thoughts. Our ways are not God's ways because we're thinking that this is going to be what it is and it's not.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to readjust and we have to get like rework our emotions and make sure that we're okay. And sometimes we're not good. And sometimes we have to take that moment to process and kind of go through different things. And then at the end of that, we're going to be okay. Because I know that, by prayer and reading and going to church, it definitely helps. And I do know that honestly, like you were saying about Sister Canada, God forgives us. The hardest thing about us is that we don't forgive ourselves. And that's what makes it 10 times worse because we don't forgive ourselves. God has forgiven us so many times. And we know this because the word said so, and we know this because God has proven that, because why would you hold he already said that he would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's not gonna hold things over us that we ask for forgiveness for. It's us that sits there and we wallow in it and we don't forgive ourselves. And sometimes it just takes us a little moment to get where we need to be and feel what we need to feel in order to be okay with our decisions and situations. What do you think?
I think that's correct.
So it's 2024. Where are you now? Tell me all your progress because I see where you were, what we were dealing with, and where you are, Taylor. I'm so proud of you. I really am. You're like holding down this job, you're going to school, you paying for your car, you have your car note, you pay for your insurance, you do all these things.
Yes,
So
it's, I don't like being an adult.
I know you don't, but yet and still you're doing so good and you're doing it by yourself on your own. So tell me, where are
Big
you?
girl things. I
I
think I
know.
think y'all are the ones that really motivated us to do like independent things, you know?
Yeah.
We don't have to depend on anybody to take care of us or to pay our things off because like how we was raised, that's who I looked up to, my mom,
Yeah.
you, me. Y'all always got what y'all needed from nobody else. So
Right.
so it's like, why not do that for myself? And so I got used to it. And every time somebody tries to do something for me, I say no.
Yeah. Why?
'Cause I don't like taking things, I like giving, you know?
I understand, but girl, take a blessing. If somebody's
Right.
giving you something, take that blessing and call it done. Be like, "Thank you, Jesus," and keep it moving. But I understand because I'm the same way. I had to learn in my old age, girl, take a blessing
And I
because
don't
God
know
is
why.
definitely doing it.
Yes. But it's like, it's hard sometimes. It's not necessarily hard, but it's like, I'm 20, you know?
Yeah,
I wanna take care of myself. I don't wanna depend on anybody else because in the long run, they can always use that as a fallback method
yeah,
on you. So it's like, cause I don't think for the moment, I think on down the line. So
yeah.
when I do something, I
Most
just
women do.
yes,
Yeah,
and that's a good thing
yeah,
because
it
some
is.
people just needs it
Yeah.
badly, okay?
I totally agree. But I'm so proud of you, Taylor. You're mentally good. You
Yes.
sure?
Yes,
You look like you are.
I am.
You smile more. I mean, I don't see you as much because you're always working or you gone or
I'm
doing
a bank
whatever.
teller,
I totally
okay?
understand that.
I'm
I'm
a
so proud
senior
of you.
banker, okay?
I know. You left for a little while. You did some training in Little Rock. How was that?
It was fun. I think it was very peaceful,
Yeah.
okay? My own hotel room, 2 beds, microwave, my refrigerator,
Yeah, I
okay?
know. It was just you, quiet and
And
everything.
looking at the city lights because I was on the 5th floor, I think, or
Yeah.
the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
But it was so nice and peaceful. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling on my words.
You're
But
good.
the
You're good.
first day, my training, we sat there for 8 hours, you know. I ended up dozing off because, like, it was an accident. Accidents do happen, you
They
know.
do, but don't ever go to sleep, girl.
But I had got up at like 6 something or 5 something because I had to drive from Little Rock that morning to
Yeah.
go to training. So it was like I've been up all morning, so I was dozing off. My head fell. I just hope the teacher didn't notice, but she started giving us breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So like it got good. But other than that, I met new people, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see them in front line and stuff like that, you know. But it was very peaceful. Like I'll go again. I think I got to go again, but like I'll go again like every day, you
Well,
know?
good. I totally understand that sometimes you need a break from the norm and break from family just to kind of get where you need to be mentally
Yes.
and get that peace and call it done. I totally get it. But I'm super proud of you. You look so good. You look totally different than the Taylor from 2020. Was it 2022?
Mhm.
2022 up until now. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just proud. You're talking more, you're just always smiling, you're not having attitude all the time, and that's a plus. But I mean, honestly, and I know your mom's proud of you as well. So, and then you have sisters that are proud of you too. So, honestly, emotionally, um, you're okay. And then you have your own job, your own car, you have your own things and doing a big girl things. And I'm
Yeah.
super proud of you.
Mhm.
I know people watch our podcast, and I know that someone may be going through the same thing that you're going through, or someone may be at a crossroad right now of like, I can't take care of this baby. I think I need to have an abortion, or I want to have an abortion, or somebody that has done it or had an abortion and they're in the same spot that you were in. They're full with regret. They're full of regret. Um, they're depressed. They're angry at themselves. And even though we know that God forgives, we have not forgiven ourselves. What would you tell that young lady that's going through the same thing you're going through at this present moment in time? What would you tell her? What piece of advice would you give her?
Like, as of right now, I'll tell her to never give up. Like, God does not put you in a place that you cannot get out of or grow from.
Right.
Like, He knows your strength. He's not going to do anything that's too much for you or too less for you. Like, He knows. Like, He makes moves for a reason. Like, they be specific too. Like,
Yeah,
when you pray for something, just make sure you pray the right way because He gonna end up removing everything that you don't need. Okay,
this is true.
so you gotta just pray. Like, that's all I can say is just pray and have faith because that's what motivated me as well as my family being close to me and being there for me and never giving up on me, even though I showed up like that with my attitudes and all that. So it's like only thing you can do is just push forward and never give up and to always tell yourself what else, ask for better days, I don't know, cause I can't just,
You just did. You just did. You just told them everything that they needed to know. You did.
mm,
Because everything that you went through, somebody needed to hear it. And they needed to hear how you made it through. And you just told them by praying and never giving up and doing all the things that you know that you need to do, regardless of emotions, regardless of depression, regardless of anything. Having that good support, praying every day, asking God for better days. Because can He not do it?
can.
And did He do it?
He did.
And that's what we do. And that's
Yes.
exactly. So that's part of being a big girl too. So thank you for being here today. Was there anything else you want to add today?
Um, no, I don't think
No?
so.
All right. Sounds good. I think your mom was a little bit worried about you today.
Cause I was
That's
nervous.
okay. We're all nervous, but
My
thank
mind
you.
went blank. Like I feel like I did not know what to say.
That's okay. You did great, Taylor. You told somebody your story, and I promise you, somebody may be going through the same thing, or somebody may be feeling how you felt and just don't even know why or how to get out of that. But you told your story today,
Yes,
and
never
thank you.
lose yourself.
Never lose yourself. You are absolutely right. Good
Cause
job.
yeah, it can get easy and
Yeah,
it can be done. So just never lose it. Always keep your, in God's hands.
true.
That's how I think.
You're right. Thank you so much.
TikTok was my best friend through and through too. Because it was a lot of people that go through the same thing. They
Yeah,
just need, advice,
they do. They need somebody to listen to.
And that's where it started before I went to my family. Because, like, I was down there.
Yeah,
So I wasn't venting to nobody. Like, every time somebody talks to me, it's always, I'm hearing their sides, never hearing my side.
yeah,
So I feel like that's where it also came from because bottle up emotion.
yeah. Just kind of
And
hold
it
it.
gets through so much and that lid just pops off. So it's
Yeah,
like,
totally understand it. I get it.
that's why I was saying I need a therapist, but I really don't need one.
You good?
Yes, I've been good.
Good, 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 good. I know, and I said this in one of my podcasts. I went to church with Caitlin not too long ago, and the Pastor KJ said, depressed. If you switch those words around, is I pressed on, and that's exactly what you did because you lost yourself for a little bit. You kind of lost your way, kind of didn't know how to do it, what to do, but you kept on pressing, and you kept on coming to church, and you kept on asking God for better days, and He did just that. Good job. Proud of
Thank
you,
you.
sister. Proud of you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on today. Another great episode with my niece Taylor. I'm very appreciative that she is here on today. If you enjoy our content, just please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and always shoot a comment. Our link will be, or our email will be in our link as well. So if you guys ever want to ask any questions or need follow up, just hit us up and let us know. Okay. And until the next one, peace. Girl, I found it.